Hi, this is Rahul. I hope you are doing well. This is a lecture 8 of the Discrete Mathematics lecture series. In this lecture, we will be learning equivalence relations, partially ordered set, and we will end up with hash diagram. First, we will learn what is equivalence relation. So, any relation which is what reflexive and antisymmetric and transitive. If any relations holds three types of property, then relation is called equivalence relation. Now we talk about partially ordered set. Partially ordered set any relation is called when it is reflexive, antisymmetric, then transitive. The definition is very simple one. Any relation I can write, any relation R, I can use R is a equivalence relationship, equivalence relation if and only if it is what, it is reflexive plus symmetric plus transitive. Similarly, we can write definition for partial order set. In short, we write what poset, and you can similarly make definition of poset. But there is one more things to know you what the notation we use for poset is what. Notation we use for poset is a pair of what relation and set. In the first place, we write what relation, then set and then relation. So this one can be written as a and then this symbol, right? So these are the two notation anyone you can use to represent poset. So let's try to understand when do we call any relation equivalence and partial ordered set if you are asked in exams to prove. So we'll see first example, first your question, which is very important one in exam point of view. The question, what question says, check whether a given relation R on set, this is integer set, is an equivalence relation or posets, and a relation is given like this. I can complete this relations. A B type of elements, A divides B is a, this is a relations what we have to prove, check whether this is equivalence relation or poset. Let's do it. So first what we have to prove, reflexiveness, right? Reflexiveness, reflexive relations, right? Because what we have to prove equivalence, then we have to, to prove equivalence, we have to prove first reflexive, symmetric and transitive, and for poset we have to prove reflexive, antisymmetric and transitive. So first we prove what reflexive. So we can take for every A belong to Z, this is integer set. So do you know any elements can divide itself? Yes, this is possible at all, and obviously this is correct itself. So we can say A belong to A. So reflexive is very simple one, you can prove very easily. Let's talk about symmetric. Symmetric. When do we call symmetric any relation? If let me take two elements of integer set Z. If AB is an element which is of A, we have to prove that what BA should also belong to R. So we will take this part, this one part, and prove to this one part. How do we do it? So if it is possible to prove, then we can say that this is symmetric one. If it is not possible at all prove to this this one part, then we can say this is not a symmetric relation. Let's do it. So if we have these conditions, we take this one and see whether this is correct or not. So AB is in R what means A divides what? B. So if these two elements are different of in this integer set, then we can say B cannot divide A if and only if A doesn't equal to B, right? So if any relation is what symmetric, then it should hold doesn't equal to and equal to, both for both cases. So then therefore we can say that, therefore we can say that AB, BA doesn't belong to R. This is very simple. Now we'll prove for antisymmetric. Let's prove it. Antisymmetric. See, as we had proved for symmetric, we will prove for antisymmetric relation, right? How do we prove antisymmetric relation? In antisymmetric, if AB belong to R and BA belong to R, we have to prove that A equal to B. So we have this part and prove to this part. Let's do it. So from this one, given part, what we can say, A divides B. I use this notation, and what we have, B divides A. From these two, can you say A is equal to B? Yes, you can say it. For example, if you take, if I take one example, A is equal to 4 and B is equal to 4. At the same time, so I can say 4 divides 4, 4 divides 4. AB and BA both are same, so that's why we can say 4. So if we take another example, A is equal to 4 and A is equal to 16. So now I can write 4 divides 16, but I cannot write 16 divide 4. So AND conditions fail. AND condition fail. So what does it mean? So this is possible only if and only if you have A is equal to B. I hope this is clear. So from this proof, what we can say, this is an antisymmetric relation. I hope this is clear. Antisymmetric relation. Now last task which is to be done is what we have to prove, whether it is transitive or not. Let's prove it. Transitive relation. In transitive relations, let we take 3 elements of integer set. We have taken 3 elements of integer set, and what we have conditions, AB belong to Z, and R we can take, and what we have another condition in transitive relation, this one must be, and with these two, what we can, A divide B, B divide C, and then 100% we can say A divide C with this condition. You may take in one example, 4 divide 16 and 16 divide 32. Definitely 4 will divide 32, because this was a fraction part of the C, and fraction part was divided by 4, so definitely you can say. So from this one you can say AC belong to R. Now we have proved 3 things, what it is reflexive, antisymmetric, and transitive. These 3 conditions are going to what, partially ordered set, poset. But this relation is not symmetric, so we can say that this is not equivalence relation. As you see, with definitions that this relation must be symmetric relation. So we can say that this relation is not, this relation R is not equivalence, but it is a poset. Now let's talk about what is hash diagram. So we take first one example. So as you can see, let R is a relation on set A. I do make hash diagram for this relation, so you can make another hash diagram for other type of relations. I do cover in this lectures 2 type of hash diagrams of relations. First one for less than or equal to, and second one for divisibility. Let's do it. So what type of elements which are possible in our 1 1 is possible, 1 2 is possible, 1 3 is possible, 1 4 is also possible, and 2 2 2 3 and 2 4, these elements which are possible, 3 3 3 4, last one 4 4, these elements which are possible in a relation R. Let's make a diagram of this relation. So how do we make diagrams? And make sure in the first step what we do, keep lowest element or least element at the bottom, and second list you will keep upper at higher than lowest or least elements. So second lowest will keep higher than your first lowest. Similarly, third lowest you will keep higher than the second lowest. In this way you will keep. So let's I keep over here. So first I will first lowest one is 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. I wrote all these relations. I hope this is clear. Now I make what moves over there. So 1 to 1 there is one loop over there, 2 to 2 is there one loop, 3 to 3, as I am talking about this one, 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3, 4 to 4. Similarly, 1 to 2 is there, 1 to 3 is there, 1 to 4 is there, right? So 2 to 3 is there, 2 to 4 is also there, 3 to 1 is there, 4 to 4 is there. So in this is a one diagrams you made, right? So in second step what you do, remove self loop, right? You have to remove self loops. So how you remove self loops? I do copy this one, copy and paste over here. I paste over here. So self loop are removed, right? In this step I remove this one, this one, this one. I have removed all self loop. Now the third step is what we have to remove. Remove transitive modes. This one you can say that this is a reflexive mode, right? Reflexive modes, right? So I do copy this one because all the transitive modes are present in this diagrams. So what are the transitive modes you see in this figure? A is there, B is there, C is there, right? A to B is related, and B to C is related. A to C is also related. This one is what I'm talking about. This one is a transitive mode. A, B, C, if I am taking like this, right? Similarly, A to B, A to B is related, B to C is related, A to C is also related. This one need to be removed, right? So similarly, this one need to be removed. So I do remove all what we call transitive modes. These were the transitive modes. This was the final figure what you get after following third number of step. So I make this picture clearly. I remove whole pictures and make clearly all these things. So 4 will come at the top, 3 will come at the you can remove a directed edges and you'll get this picture, right? This is what we call hash diagram, final hash diagram. Let's make one more hash diagram for if you have given a relationship. If A B is A divides B, A divides B, and AB belong to what? A. Let's define is what number of what elements which are present: 6, 3 and 9. So one more thing, I do take instead of 3, 24 number I am taking, right? So the step we are going to follow: first we keep lowest element at the bottom, 2 will keep over here, and then we'll keep 3, uh, then 6 will come over here. Why I'm not writing a straight line? Because otherwise what we will get curve of phases, you will realize later, right? So 4 will may come this side, right? Then 36 24 sorry will come over here. So now let's make edges will be made when A divides B. So 2 divides 4, I'll make is 1, and 3 divides 6 will be made 1 is 6 divides, and 4 also divide this one, 2 also divide this one. Now do you see these pictures? 2 is also dividing what? It's 24, but this was what? Transtimo, so that's why I have not drawn. So other things, this was only most was transtio. So 3 was also dividing was 24s, but I had not drawn because this was transtimo. I hope this is what final hash diagram. So in upcoming lectures I'm going to cover what are how to find out lower bounds, upper bounds from this hash diagrams, and I do then talk about lattices in upcoming lectures. This was all about 3 things I wanted to talk about in this lectures. First one was equivalence relation, then poset, then hash diagram. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video and it clears your doubts, please like and share with your friend. Thank you for watching.